Cheers.
All right. We got a good one. We're back. We're doing the episodes a little bit different now. I don't want to say different. We're just changing the schedule.
Changing the schedule up a little bit.
Time's getting busy. Time's hard to find,
So we're now filming them on Wednesday. And then we're going to release them
Hopefully Friday.
Yep. But no later than Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. So it'll be a fresh one on Monday. Start the week.
Yep.
Be ready to go. Rinse and repeat. Don't really know what topics Eric has this week. We're kind of freeballing this one.
We're freeballing this one, man.
We came in with our own kind of little topics. You're usually up to speed both what we were talking about, but this way we're kind of just throwing it back and forth.
It's been a crazy week. We haven't really sat down and talked too much about topics, but we got a lot going on, actually.
Oh,
we're a week away from regular season football.
We're 75 days away from election.
Yep.
We got some stuff happening in the entertainment industry.
Yep. I got a shitty fantasy team. You got a good one.
It's gonna be interesting. Eric's either gonna get. Eric has a really high chance of getting fucked, but he's a decent chance of it just working in his favor the way it usually does, But we got some stuff we want to talk about. Let's jump into it, Eric. We'll go back and forth topic for topic how we usually do.
Let's start with something that's gonna happen next week is regular season football.
Of course.
So we got preseason. We got one more game left this week, and it's at home versus Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
We were debating to go to it.
I want to, but I don't think I'll be in town.
And I don't really want to pay that much for a preseason game. I'd rather pay $100 more and
just go downtown and just spend money.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Go to Tin Roof and just get lit.
Yep. No, I've never been there. So
what?
Tin Roof?
Yeah, that's the. Maybe.
Have I been there?
I don't think so. You were at level 2 with when I went with you. That's when we went to level 2. That was the upstairs club.
Yep, I remember that.
The Tin Roof is like a big building. That's like the main sports bar.
I've never been there.
Great spot. That's any Detroit game. That's where you go, and it's
Tin
lit.
Roof. Yeah. All right, we'll have to go there.
100%.
But yeah, so we got one more game. Pittsburgh Steelers home. That'll be nice, and then we start the regular season off at home as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna send Stafford and the Rams back packing again home.
Yep, we're gonna start the season 1-0 with them 0-1.
Yeah, I hope so, but I need Blake Corum to pull through for the fantasy team, so I hope we don't beat him up too bad. But
speaking of that, Blake Corum, but you see J.J. McCarthy's out for the rest of the year?
It's sad. Very sad, man.
It potentially might ruin the rest of his season, the rest of his career.
I don't think it'll ruin the rest of his career, but he's definitely out for this whole season. It's kind of like an Aaron Rodgers thing, but he didn't even make it to regular season.
I'm glad you said that. So that's the kind of thing that I'm very interested to see, is because it seems as if that these sports players have access to medicine that's not even heard of yet. Because
are you talking about Aaron Rodgers?
Yes. He recovered a full ligament.
He's crazy.
In 8 weeks.
Did he go to
I don't know where he went or what he did. They said he did the craziest therapeutical natural shit ever, and within 8 weeks the whole fucking marrow.
He's like one of the first to ever do it.
In any sport, it's unheard of.
He believes in the earth natural. Science,
yes.
Earth science, natural stuff, holistic. I was gonna say, I think he went to I'm gonna butcher ayahuasca camp or.
Oh, an ayahuasca camp.
Yes. Yes.
He could have very well. I don't know. They say he's a freak like that.
That's what I'm saying. So
And that's I don't know. They might have J.J. McCarthy do the same thing. It's gonna be very interesting to see.
Well, he's very spiritual as well. I
know every game he prays before they would start. He would do
he meditates too at the goalpost
with his shoes and socks off.
So I wonder if he's gonna link up with Aaron Rodgers and get some insider info on how to.
No, definitely that's an
how to get rid of this or get over this pretty quickly. Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm really interested to see because I haven't done fantasy football in a couple of years.
I've never done it.
Yeah, you've never done it. I haven't done this since I think either high school or middle school. And I'm just excited to see how it goes. It's been a while. It's a fun way just for you and your boys to just be like, oh, bro, you fucking...
We got a couple randoms in there, too,
you
though.
Rookie, why would you draft this guy? Da-da-da-da. Or, you're going to be watching the game, and you're like, motherfucker, Eric has da-da-da. And then he just got a touchdown. That's just worth 7 points right there, 6 points. So it's going to be fun to see on how everything plays out. I'm excited to see this year play out because what I've been hearing from everyone, people aren't as confident in the Lions this year as they were last year.
Where have you been listening?
No, I'm serious. A lot of people. Because what I've been hearing this year is it's not like, we got it. It's going to be either...
They have to.
No, I haven't even heard that. I've heard a lot of, this is going to be our best year ever, or we're going to fucking shit the bed.
We ain't shitting the bed, bro.
I hope not, Eric, but it's
not possible anymore.
Practices haven't been going too well. The
Lions, last year, preseason Lions didn't do good at all.
I thought they were decent.
No.
No?
I went to a game versus Jaguars last year and they lost. Yeah, they lost. Yeah. Like 35-4. You got to think about it, bro.
4.
They haven't had any starters playing.
No, right.
We just beat Kansas City with Nate Sudfeld and
some scrubs.
Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker's really good.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, all second string people fighting to make a roster spot.
And they had majority of their first.
Exactly. They played a whole first half with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Like, bro, we're in the bag. I don't care what anyone says.
It's a fair point. I want to bring us into a little bit of an entertainment aspect. I was scrolling through internet today, and I saw something that just made me jump with joy. It made me feel like a little kid again. Adam Sandler was talking. I don't know if you saw this. Have you heard anything about this? Anything about Adam Sandler?
Nothing about him, but something about his friend.
No, nothing about that. But Adam Sandler has confirmed they are in the works currently right now with Netflix to release Happy Gilmore 2. And he said that he's been asked for over 10 years, over 20 years to make a remake, make a, not a trilogy, but what is it called? What would be the second one called? A prequel?
Second. I think you're right.
Maybe a prequel, whatever they called it. But he declined it for so long, and they finally figured out the proper team and everything. They said they're going to have a bunch of pro golfers in it who are going to play a part. And then he said that even Travis Kelce should be in it as well. And so
I did hear about this from Travis Kelce, actually. He isn't.
No, Travis Kelce was begging to be in the movie.
And he put it on a podcast, and then he said
everywhere.
And then they asked him to be in it.
Yes, they finally gave him. They haven't released what his role is going to be yet or what it is. I think Travis Kelce might be like what's his name, like Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
Like the villain, the protagonist. And so I'm very interested.
Or he's gonna be a caddy or something funny.
Something, and so I'm really excited to see this. It's gonna be a top selling.
You know what else I hope he releases again?
Waterboy.
That one more else. It was an all-time classic when
Longest
I was a kid.
Yard?
Grown Ups.
Oh, they already did Grown Ups 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, but they need like an all grown up now where they're like grandpas and their kids are taking care of.
Grown ups like re-grown up or something.
Yeah, and their kids are taking care of them. And they hit Vegas one last time.
Them at college.
Yes.
All their kids go to the same campus.
Yeah.
And they go visit them and party with them at college, and it's like opening week, like rush week or whatever.
Yeah, it's like opening week.
Yeah.
Like you just said, opening week, and they're just hitting frat house, partying with the kids.
That would be. I would love to see that. That would be great.
Or going to Vegas as like a group, like a hangover part, but like an all grown up and with those people.
And they just go on like a crazy adventure.
Yeah.
I would love to see it, bro.
Like stories about their wives like passing away or like nothing crazy, but
Christ.
You know what I'm saying? Like how that one Vegas movie was where like they were all in different stages of their life. Like one of them just lost a wife, one of them living with their son. Like something like that, but with those actors in it would be going insane.
It absolutely would. It absolutely would. I can't wait to see what it comes out with because it's been a while since some good movies came out. A little bit more so on the entertainment side. I saw Disney had their, I think it's like their release day or their launch day, whatever it is. It was like when they announced all their upcoming shit.
Yeah.
New Toy Story coming out.
I heard it has to do with electronics now.
Yes. And I love the storyline behind it. I was going to ask you.
I didn't hear about the storyline.
Okay, so the storyline is the fight against electronics and how.
Oh, yes.
And how that the kid, I don't think it's Andy anymore because Andy's all grown up, whoever the new kid is. He is an iPad kid. And so all he does is just
watch videos.
Yeah. Right, instead of his iPad, he barely plays with his toys. And so the toys are trying to figure out how to eliminate the electronics to start to have the kid play with that.
Oh, I'll have to see this, bro.
Because it's a very good point that I've never thought about, okay? We might have talked about it, we might have not. But I never thought about how much competition the toy industry has nowadays.
No one buys toys.
Right. It's not even about buying toys, but like, okay, let's say you have a 6-year-old child, right? And he's obsessed with puzzles. How much money would you spend on 50 puzzles?
When you could buy him an iPad and download an app.
The app that's $4.99 that has 1,000 fucking puzzles. And you never have to clean it up again. You never lose a piece. Right. That was the whole thing that made me that blew my mind.
Never thought about it that way.
That's the same thing with streaming services. Back in the day, my sister and I were obsessed with movie nights. Every weekend, once a week, movie night. We had at least 200 DVDs. Bro, 200 DVDs each?
Adds up.
Bro, that's $1,000 minimum.
Yeah.
Even if it's $5 a piece, all on sale.
Right.
That's $1,000, right? You know how many subscriptions I can get on how many streaming services?
And watch tens and 20s and 30s or thousands of episodes or movies or, yeah.
So, bro, it's a tough market right now, and I never thought about it.
It's like the candy industry. It's like the food. Not saying...
Food's a little different because of how it's prepared and what the items are. Food will always be the one thing.
Not food, candy.
What do you mean?
I'm talking to a lot of people that own things, and they're saying that it's like people aren't buying as much candy. They're gravitating towards more chips and more like...
Because nowadays... And
there's tons of new candy coming out, and it's like it's overwhelming.
That's one thing, but the main thing is I sell snacks and drinks.
Yeah, yours is a little different.
It's not even about that. Right now, people's mindset is the main thing, and the mindset is that the bigger the item is and the cheaper it is, the more I want it. All candies are tiny. And they're almost relatively
$2-3 now.
They're the same price as chips.
Yeah.
So would you get, even though, let's say,
and it's not healthy, and chips, aren't healthy either, but they're better than candy.
But let me put it to you like this hypothetically. Let's say a candy bar is 55 grams, and a bag of chips is 60 grams. It's only 5 grams more in product weight, right? But because of how big the bag is, you're going to choose it over that any day.
Yeah, every day. Yeah.
That's the main thing that I've been noticing about people. It could be the craziest, best flavor they've ever wanted. But like, if it's the price doesn't add up to the size of the item, it doesn't make sense. It's not worth it.
And candy's super expensive now.
Very, very. That's the thing. That's the one thing that I try to explain to people is that like my wholesale pricing will be the retail pricing that you'll pay on, like our American stuff.
Yeah.
So like I'm even surprised on some of the stuff I order on like the pricing that I get. Because don't get me wrong, there's some shit that's very expensive. There's some stuff that I get that I'm like, wow, this is cheaper.
That was cheap, yeah.
That was cheaper than what I'd go get at Costco for a whole box of Welch's fruit snacks or some shit, you know? So it's a very interesting thing for me on how it all works out.
No, definitely.
What's your next topic that you got for us?
Let's talk about what's going on. We got election coming up, 75 days out.
I was going to jump into that, so go ahead. Yeah, start us off.
We got an election about 75 to 80 days out.
Yeah.
It's getting interesting.
It's getting intense.
It's getting really intense. I don't know how I feel, Alex, but it's going to be an interesting time moving forward between now and then. I think it's starting to hit everyone that it's an election year. Everything was normal until about May, and then everything really slowed down, I feel like.
100%.
No one's spending money right now. No one knows what's going to happen, which is common during an election year, but it's hitting people really hard this year. Extreme. Because the last 4 or 5 years, business for everyone has just been fucking booming. Mm-hmm. And they forgot how it was before that, I think.
100%.
And it's starting to hit people. People took on a lot more expenses. Reality hit. It's just crazy what's going on, man.
What I wanted to touch to a point is, like you were saying, that yes, it's people are really starting to settle in and be like, wow, it's that time, you know? And what I wanted to bring a point to was I'm more afraid of the days coming closer than I am of the result itself.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that there's so much more possibilities of things that can happen in the next 75 to 80 days than just the result of the election itself.
Right, and I mean, unfortunately, once the result comes out, it's what it is. It is what it is. We can't do anything. We can't change it.
I'm very glad you made that point. Very glad you made that point. This is what my family and I talk about, because technically you are wrong. Constitutionally, you are wrong.
Right, okay? But it'll never happen.
That's the theory. And maybe you understand where I'm going, maybe you don't. I'm going to elaborate a little bit here, okay? Hypothetically speaking, okay? after November 28th, 29th,
yeah,
whatever.
it's like right there.
Whatever the final primary day is, right?
It's usually a day after election,
right.
though, yeah.
That day, whoever wins has not become president.
So, January.
Exactly right. A lot of people don't know that until you get sworn in January.
26th, I think.
Somewhere around there.
16th, maybe? Something.
14th, somewhere in there in January.
Yeah.
Mid to late January. Whatever happens from November to January, you have no power, no right, nothing.
Right.
Okay? So, you know me, I'm the conspiracist. I like to get a little radical here, but here's my thought. Here's what I genuinely think. The assassination on him was just an attempt. It was just a warm-up thing. They released that, so you know the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, he rarely makes public appearances. But if he does, they put him inside of a glass bulletproof cage.
Right.
Okay?
When he's speaking?
Yes, okay. Exactly right. So they're having that built for Trump right now because Trump came out and said that as much as I would love to do these 100,000 people rallies at the big house, at Gillette Stadium, at this, that, that's not what I like. That's not what I want to do. I want to have these close personal rallies with 10, 20, 30,000 people in the middle of a field. So CIA is on top of their game right now, okay? Point that I'm getting to is that I'm saying is that
even Secret Service.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I say CIA again?
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me.
I was like, where's he going with this CIA
Before we have this all over again. Yeah, Secret Service, yes. My point that I'm making is that what I'm very terrified of is that there's going to be another slip-up. Somehow, some way, there will be another attack. Whether it's a physical, mental, or a technological attack. And it's going to come into the position where it's going to make him lose. He'll win the race. Get forced out of the position. Because he gets forced out of the position, J.D. Vance cannot step in because he's not sworn in. So J.D. Vance is not the official VP, right? VP yet. Do you understand?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. So he can't be president. So
exactly. So it would fall back onto Joe Biden because Joe Biden only did 4 years.
Kamala Harris would be president.
Exactly. Joe Biden would say that I'm not. They would call that he's not emotionally fit. He's not emotionally fit. He's not stably fit. Whatever it is, they would go into the VP, and Kamala Harris would get it by default. So
that's a crazy conspiracy.
But it's very likely.
But it's I wouldn't say very likely. I would say it's a probable instance if all of it were to play out as the way you said.
If each domino fell.
Yeah, if each, like what you said makes sense.
Yes.
I wouldn't
say
all
of it to happen to make sense. That's right.
Right.
But that's something. That's why it's a conspiracy theory. Because for that to happen.
I just wanted to make that clear that it's a conspiracy theory, though.
Because that's the one thing that I will say is that if that were to happen, in my personal opinion, a civil war would ensue instantly. Because that would lose for the second time. There's an attempt to screw this guy over. I think that's when people start to draw.
It's hard to say what would happen, but I see where you're going with it.
Right.
I
people
get
get
what
a lot
you're
more
saying.
radical with it.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying 100%, but it's hard to call what would happen.
Of course, but that's
and
my theory.
I don't think any of that's going to even happen either way.
That's the same thing we thought about him getting assassinated. Or
well, yeah, I never thought we'd see that again in our lifetime, but
that hasn't happened since Kennedy.
It hasn't, and what was that, like 60s, 70s? Yeah.
So 50 years almost.
Yeah, it's...
That's my thing. It's a radical thought, but I would never say it's not possible.
All right, so I know it's like a horrible thing to say, but how many public appearances do you think the president has made since Kennedy got shot until Trump got shot?
What? I'm confused on what you're asking. On every president?
Every president. How many public appearances do you think they made? Between Kennedy
and Trump. 1,000.
You don't think it's more than that?
Well, I'm saying at least 1,000.
Give me like a ballpark number, what you think. Like a realistic guess.
There's probably 10 presidents. Each president served for 4 years.
Some of them served for longer.
So I'd say 4,000.
So their margin for error is less than 0.5%.
Yeah. But that's the thing. But
it shouldn't be zero. It should be nothing.
No, I get your point, but it's all circumstantial.
It is 100%.
And on this circumstance, This was stoppable because, like I told you in the last episode,
they should have had that.
11 minutes before Trump was even brought on stage.
53 minutes before they saw him. I agree with you, 100%.
You know, so like, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But it has to be like a drone strike, a fucking shooter from 5 miles away who's a professional Olympic shooter that they brought in from somewhere. You know, something that's just like you were not even being able to prepare for it. But something you spotted 50 minutes ago, 37 minutes ago, 11, on and on and on and on. I give no exception to that.
No, understandable.
And so I'm gonna bring on to the next topic. As we're on to the current politics, I want to talk a little bit, couple more things from both sides. You might have seen a lot on social media. I think it's very interesting on how Kamala is getting all of this attention from the influencers. And so it's kind of working out into her favor.
Same thing happened when Biden versus Trump was running.
No, but this is to a different level because they're reaching out to Kai. They're reaching out to Bryce Hall. They're reaching out to...
And they're turning them down.
Right. But yesterday at the DNC, they had, what's his name? T.I. there. Or, no, Lil Jon. They had Lil Jon there.
Yeah, but he'll do anything to stay relevant.
My point. That's why I told my brother. I was like, he just got needed that check.
I didn't even know who that was again until you said that. Yeah. I haven't heard of him since 2015, bro.
Even longer.
That's what I'm saying. So he needs something to stay relevant.
It's interesting that many people are stepping down and not doing anything with it. But what I will say to the opposite point is that even though they're not willing to be a part of it,
they're still posting
and mentioning. And so it's doing more than enough. It's more than enough. Oh, Kai knows about Kamala? Oh my God, this person knows about that? Oh my God, maybe we are actually the same. We do have the same kind of aspect on things.
That's crazy.
So it really kind of builds it up into a weird aspect.
No, 100%.
From the opposite side, what I wanted to ask you, still with the supporters, did you see the recent interview / podcast that Trump did?
I know he did one with Aiden Ross.
No, this was yesterday or 2 days ago.
I saw it, bro. I can't think of who he did with.
Theo Von.
Yes. You know what killed me about that? Trump said, I asked my son, you're very big. He told Aiden Ross the same exact thing.
He tells everyone that, bro. But okay, here. The whole thing was fucking hilarious because Theo Von has no filter.
I haven't watched it yet, so don't spoil it.
He's talking to Trump as if I would talk to you.
Yeah, I know. I saw the little bit of clips.
They had a 5-minute discussion about how Theo Von used to be addicted to cocaine.
I saw that, yeah.
And what it used to do to his body, what it was like, how he would feel. Trump asked him all. Trump was interrogating him. He was like, so would you get this urge if you... He's like, no, man, you don't understand. I felt as if I was a mechanic all of a sudden once I did it. Trump's like, what does that even mean? What do you mean you turn into a mechanic once you did cocaine? And long story short, I think Trump was so unprepared for this podcast.
Do you think it made him look better or worse?
It made him look a lot more like us. Like he sat down with Theo Von and just talked about cocaine, beers, and let me hit one more topic. And so the one thing that kind of threw it off at the end is that I think someone from Trump's team was like, okay, we're going to have to start to wrap this up and finish it off. And Trump literally looked at the camera and goes, yes, we need to finish this up now. So I think even Trump kind of had enough of it.
Have you noticed something funny about their campaigning? So Kamala's going towards influencer.
Yeah.
Trump's been on a podcast around the past 2 months.
Because, okay, they figured out where the youth is, right?
It's in the podcast.
No, it's both. But it's 2 different demographics. Because podcasts are usually the conservative kids who are trying to educate themselves further without a real education.
Right.
That's our whole philosophy, is that we want to learn without being taught. Okay? Yeah. These other Democrat kids, at least in my opinion, from what it looks like, is fast, quick money. Swiping. How can I find the easiest way to make some shit? Right? And that's what TikTok is. 1-minute videos, 30-second videos, 3-minute videos. On YouTube, you have to watch a 20-minute video before you get to the end of it, and he's like, buy my program.
Yeah.
In TikTok, you find that on 30 seconds. So that's when I think that's where it kind of gets a skewed difference. So I think on TikTok, it's a lot different because if they just see that person, they're like, woo, all riled up. On the podcast aspect or YouTube aspect, I believe it just drives a lot more of a audience. And I have to hear what he said.
Right.
I have to see what he said, whatever it is. What else did you have for us to jump into? Do you have anything else for us?
That was it. I mean, me and Alex both got some cool posters this weekend.
Yeah, I sold Eric's, one of my employees.
He didn't sell mine. If he sold it, I'm taking his. He just doesn't know.
No, but that's mine.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's signed for 313 Exotic Drinks,
no, it's
a.k.a.
not.
Alex.
No, it's
I
not.
told him to after
he put his Instagram on it.
Yeah, and I told him to sign it for me.
Oh, yeah. After we left?
Yeah. Like, when we packed, I went back.
Oh, that's funny, because when we packed, he was gone 30 minutes
No,
before that. Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Look at this schmuck, man.
But that's besides the point. That was a great episode today. I like the free flow.
Yeah.
We played it good.
Yep.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Come back again next week. It's like Jimmy John's. See you before Sunday.
Freaky fast delivery.
We're slow with the delivery.